Hi, in the video on the theory of statistical mediation, we had a look at a specific example where we were trying to predict critical thinking from the use of AI. And there was a prediction that this relationship would be mediated by cognitive offloading. So that's the extent to which you use external tools to help you with your thinking. This video is going to look at how to fit this model using the process tool in IBM SPSS Statistics. Now, the data for this example you can find in linked in the description. And basically, we've got three variables plus a variable that is the ID of the participant. These are fictional data, but they are based on a real study and essentially mimic the results. So if we have a look in the variable view, we can see that we've got a variable called AI, which is the use of AI. We've got a variable that's been called COG-OFF, which is the cognitive offloading variable, and we've got a variable called CRIT-THINK, which is the critical thinking variable. To run the mediation analysis, we're going to use the process tool, which hopefully you have installed. If you haven't, there's a link to a video to show you how to do that. Now, the process tool has a little quirk where it can only handle variable names that are 8 characters or less. What this means is if you have variables in your data that have the same first 8 characters, so let's say you had a variable called kettle burner 1, another one called kettle burner 2, another one called kettle burner 3, they are all longer than 8 characters, and if you truncate them to 8 characters, they would all be kettle burr or something like that. So basically the process tool, where did I get kettle burner from? I don't know. Anyway, if you try to run the analysis, the process tool is going to get very confused. So first step is make sure the variables that you want to use have fewer than 8 characters. Now we have one here, CRIT-THINK, which is 10 characters. So let's just make that a shorter name. Let's just call it, I don't know, critical for critical thinking. So now all our variables that we want to use are under 8 characters and we are good to go. Let's go to the Analyze menu, then the Regression menu, and if you've installed it, the Process tool will be there. I like the Process tool so much, I've got 2 versions of it. We're going to use version 5. Here's our dialog box. Our Y variable is our outcome, so this is critical thinking, the thing we're trying to predict. Our X variable is our predictor variable. This is use of AI. And our M variable is our mediator, which is going to be cognitive offloading. Now, in this drop-down box, there's a list of models we could potentially fit. A mediation model with one mediator is model 4. So select that. I would generally go for fewer decimal places than 4, but, you know, fill your boots if you like 4 decimal places. In terms of standard errors, I would routinely choose robust standard errors because then you don't have to worry about if there's heteroscedasticity in your model. So I would generally go for an HC4 and then I don't have to worry about heteroscedasticity. In terms of other options, there's not a lot we need to worry about really. The indirect effect, the mediation effect, will be tested with bootstrap confidence intervals. That's what this set of options is all about. I would generally change those to bias corrected. And in terms of options, you know, click on stuff, don't click on stuff. It's kind of up to you. I would generally ask for the total effects within the model because they're kind of fun to look at. They're good to look at. But yeah, basically, there's not too much there you have to click on. And then there's this button here for long variable names, and this is just a reminder. This is telling us that if you have variables more than 8 characters, it can produce incorrect output. We don't, but we're going to accept the risk. That's what we're going to do. So having done all that, there's a lot more detail about this in my textbook, but that's a good set of basic options. We can click on Run, and hopefully we should get a mediation model. Eventually, a mediation model will appear. Now, just to keep things brief, we're just going to focus on the mediation effect. And as you can see, it's sort of text output, which might not be what you're used to seeing in SPSS, but it's all right, you can roll with it. If we just double click on here so I can highlight it, we're looking at this thing here, which is the indirect effect of X on Y. This is our mediation effect. Now notice there's no p-value or anything, so what we have to do is interpret the confidence interval. And if the confidence interval does not contain 0, then that equates to it being significant at a 0.05 level. So we can see here, the indirect effect is minus 0.25, and the confidence interval ranges from minus 0.39 to minus 0.11. So because that doesn't include 0, everything is below 0, we can conclude that there was a non-zero mediation effect. Now, it doesn't have to be that both values of the confidence interval are negative. They could both be positive, but they have to be both in the same direction. So you can't have one positive and one negative. And that is the short version of how to run a mediation model. As I said, my textbook chapter has lots more detail, but hopefully that will get you up and running.